$1. 6.
Hello.
Okay, so guys, right now, so we are here. So first of all, about the temple, is the name of the temple is called the Kom Ombo. Kom, its word means like a higher ground. That's why we come to the temple by steps, because it's a higher ground, you know. Ombo, that's already comes from the ancient word hieroglyphics called Nebo, which means gold. Gold, because already, you know, ancient Egyptians discovered, you know, around 40 mines of gold. 10 exist in Egypt, but the rest is in. You can come here a little bit for the space for the people. You know, they already, you know, they use like that was like the beginning of the, or you know, the place where they brought the gold. I mean, this is like the first watching area for the gold way in ancient time. That's why this is the reason why they call it Nebo, which is already means gold. Then it's a higher ground, that's why it's called the Kon Nebo, but then it changed it up, you know, during the Arab time by Hembo, you know, instead of Nebo. But anyway, that's about the name of the temple. The temple, it's destroyed for the reason, first reason is the temple is built right in front of the harbor of the Nile River. That's why it's easy for the flood to destroy in the temple. That's why the temple is being destroyed because of the flood and even because of earthquakes. But later on, some people, you know, the government, they use, because the temple was destroyed, they try to build a huge factory making sugar out of the sugar cane. That's why they take blocks from the temple here, use it to build the factory. I know that's shame, but yes.
The water came this high.
Yeah. Okay, that's why, you know. But you know that even the level of the water is lowered because of the high dam. It's controlled flood, but in ancient time it's higher during the flood. Yes. As we said, like even in Luxor temple, the whole temple being, you know, also there is like record about the temple was all of it under the flood of the water from the Nile River. That's why, yeah, sometimes it's huge and covering the land. That's why, you know, as we said, that was the two reasons. But you know, the main one is they take already blocks from that temple, use it to build the biggest, you know, factory making sugar out of the sugar cane in the Middle East, which is in a city here, Kom Ombo, because like sugar cane is a big, you know, it's like they grow it a lot here in the south of Egypt, and the, you know, that's like they make the sugar cane out of the so the sugar out of the sugar cane here, biggest, you know, factory. Already the most of the blocks it took from that temple. Okay, but the temple here is very unique temple. Why? Because already now we are not right in front of one temple, but in front of two temples, you know, one temple but shared into two temples. The temple is already built during the time of Ptolemaic VI, okay? But the idea is already, as we mentioned, they already keep building temples on the top of ancient Egyptian temples. The idea or the story goes for the Pharaoh already, you know, he has only one son, he's gonna be the next Pharaoh, but then he heard that, you know, he's gonna die so young. That's why he go pray for all of the gods and, you know, to save the son. But then the son was swimming in the Nile River, then comes a crocodile and eat. That's why, you know, the Pharaoh was like, try to beat all of the crocodiles, but already crocodile, even if they attacking the people, but ancient Egyptian, they see something, you know, very, you know, different in the crocodiles, because ancient Egyptian, they can swim, but they don't have an idea for diving. That's why they believe even diving into the water that you start a journey for the underworld. That's why that animal has ability to be on the ground and goes down deep in the afterlife, then coming back to life again. That's why, that's why even they start to call him Sobek Ra. Sobek Ra, because he has the same idea of the sun, goes down, in a journey through the underworld, then rise back again. That's why that animal has the same thing. He go look after the people in the underworld, then come back again. Even they use this crocodiles to produce a lot of, stuff like they takes like some oils that helps for the skin and the skin disease, lasers, they use it for make a lot of the lasers. That's why they find it, useful. Okay, that's why it's still like, dangerous, but in the same time it still has good sides as well. But that's why the Pharaoh, he got an idea to erecting temple for the god, Sobek, the crocodile. But could you imagine, we said he's dangerous, bad. That's why could you imagine erecting temple for evil or bad, or I think that will be against, the balance of the life. Who's already the balance of life? Who's goddess of truth and justice? Might. Goddess of justice and truth. Goddess Might, she came and she said, hold on, you cannot build a temple, a whole temple for an evil god or a bad god. That's why, that's why she gave her order to shear the temple into 2 temples. By the way, you can see here from closer. So you see the Sobek Ra, the god Sobek Ra, or Sobek, the human body is the head of the crocodile. That's why, she started to give her order to shear the temple into 2 temples. That's why when you stand, you will see there is seems like a line between the both sides to shear the temples into 2 temples between good God and bad God, to keep the balance of the life. Because bad and, good and bad, it's always exist, good and bad is everywhere, every country, every city, could be in the same family, could be in the same person. But some people, they can control the bad. That's why, they look good. Some other, they cannot control the bad side. That's why they look bad people. But everybody has good and bad. But it depends on how you can control that. That's why here, they decided to shear the temple into good and bad. That's why, okay, the good side is Horus, god of the protection. That's why she gives the order to shear the temple, but between 2 strong gods, Sobek, and has to be at the other side is very strong as well, will be Horus, god of the protection. Okay, that's why when you stand right in front of the temple, the right side will be for who? For Horus. Left side for who? Sobek. Okay, is that right? Okay, that's when you stand, but when you are inside the temple, and you cannot have the bad side on the left hand side, because already left side is heart. You cannot have the heart, in the back, so the bad in the heart. That's why already, like when you're inside the temple, the left side is Horus and the right side is Sobek. Okay, I mean right now in front of you, left side is Horus and right side is Sobek, because already you cannot have the bad side is the left one, because left one, as we mentioned, means heart. By the way, we have do you remember the idea when I told you how they gather in the stones together by put a wood piece made out of sycamore, and then they put water, and the temple here used to have the same concept, the idea for building, but there is no any one of those wooden pieces left, except only one piece. It's right here. So
where is it? Sorry. Oh, there. Oh, cool.
it's right here, guys. See?
Yep.
This is
Come out
the
the way.
only piece of the sycamore left. It's right here. The only, this is the only piece of of wood that left from all of the sycamore wood from the sycamore tree. Because of what? This town is very small, you know. This belongs to the city Aswan, by the way. It belongs to Aswan. Aswan city is huge, you know, massive. Not a lot of people, like 2.5 million people, but it's a big, huge city. It's a big government, okay? But the governorate is in the city, downtown Aswan itself. That's why, there's the reason why they call it, now we reach to the city of Aswan. But anyway, once you move by the lock, you are in Aswan. Okay? So all of that is considered Aswan, Edfu Aswan, and Kom Ombo's Aswan. But here it's a little town of Aswan. Long time ago, people, they used to come to visit the temple. No hotels, no hostels, no, like there is no guest houses here. People, they used to come here, long way driving. They spend an overnight. In the winter, it's very cold. They used to get the wood and fire it. That's why there is no any one of the wood pieces left except this one that is right. The outer part here never been decorated until the Roman time. That's why if you look at who is the pharaoh, will be right here, guys. Is Ptolemy? No. Is Roman? Who? Tiberius Caesar. Tiberius Caesar. That's why here you see Tiberius Caesar as a pharaoh. You know, the scenes of Tiberius Caesar as a pharaoh. That's why, you know, in the bottom of the Nile River, because like when like the water and earthquake happens, it's destroying the pylon. That's why it fills into the water. And rest they take it and building the sugar factory. That used to be the open courtyard, never been decorated unless the time of the Roman era. And here we see the scenes of Tiberius Caesar. For sure you see the same idea what we explained it about the capital of the columns. Where already, you know, it's kind of mixture between, all of them is Egyptian style. All of it are Egyptian style. But, you know, it's kind of got a mixture between, you know, the symbols of or the Egyptian symbols, whatever, papyrus, lotus, and the palm tree. Okay? But in mixture, everybody seeing, as we said, whatever in the entrance is small, big, you see what? Sun disk with the wings. Okay, the small one here, sun disk with the wings. Over any entrance. As we said, that combination between Ra and Horus, Ra, Hor, Akhti, or Ra rise up with Horus, you know, in the horizon. Here you start to see how they start to preparing the pharaoh, you know, to start to be the pharaoh, you know, start the rituals. As we said, first thing they have to do it, wash the pharaoh or make the purification of the pharaoh. By, you know, see here is God's knowledge, wisdom, sciences, and inscriptions. Writing, here Horus God of protection. We start to holding the jars and start to spread the water, the holy water over the body of the pharaoh, while it's already consisted of two symbols, was and health. Was, as we said, power and life. Okay, you see the crocodile here. We see there is a big one inside as well. Okay guys, so right now we as you see it's very busy, so I'm going like start the explanations, but please come over here. So I'm gonna like start a bit of the explanations and you know, here right now we are like right like in the middle of the temple. No, if you look at this, that seems like almost like a line to divide it between the two temples. Share it into two temples between Sobek to your right hand side and Horus right here on the left hand side. That's why this area is like the sharing area, you know. It's like share between both of them. Okay, that's why that seems like a separate temple. That seems like a separate temple as one complex. Okay. Everybody knows. Do you know that? Do you remember I told you something called rechit? It means like locals. This is the symbol of the rechit. Okay. You see that bird?
Sorry.
That bird seems like a rat with wings and arms. That's called the rechit. Rechit means locals, commoners, local people. Local. That's why, as we said, they believe the base of the column. The base of the column, it's what? The internal water. What rise out of it is the plants and the two symbols, papyrus and lotus. Here, the rechit, the locals. Then comes the title of the pharaoh, and then the pharaoh here was the god and the goddess. They are over the level, up on the level. Okay? Guys, do you know, like, human body was head of female lion, goddess who? Do you know the name of the goddess? The human body was head of the female lion. Sekhmet. Sekhmet, goddess of war and healing. We said like when the male lion goes to hunt 5 times, kills 4, and when 1 time, female lion Sekhmet, when she's going to hunt 5 times, win 5 times and just fail 1 time. That's why, you know, they choose the female lion, the goddess of war. If we look here, you could see right in front of the pharaoh, you know, over in front of him, you saw the woman body with a female lion head. So will be who? Wrong. No, Isis. Yes. You remember I said one of the job of Isis, goddess of magic. That's why Isis, she can turn herself into any form, according what she needs to do right now. That's why here is Isis. She's not Sekhmet. A lot of the people explain and say Sekhmet, but we will tell the name already together. And okay, so by the way, okay, over here you see, you know, as we mentioned, Ptolemy the 8th, so number 8, when they start to prepare him to make, he made the ceremony once in the side of Horus, make another ceremony here in the side of, you know, Sobek, to keep the balance as well. That's why you see here, the goddess, her name is Necht, so Wadjet, goddess of Lower Egypt, will be representation Cobra. Okay, here goddess, her name Nekhbet, you know, goddess of Upper Egypt, and the image is the vulture. So the two goddesses of Upper and Lower Egypt, they are both of them placed the double crowns of Upper and Lower Egypt, you know, over the head of the pharaoh to start prepare Ptolemy. So he is the pharaoh right now. That's why I get the supporting, and he placed the crowns right in front of the legion of this side, Sobek, you know, because he's the owner of this side. So that's why he started doing this ritual in front of Horus, doing another ritual in front of Sobek, you know, as we said, because it seems actually 2 separate temples in one complex. Okay, so take your photos. It's also about the same thing we explained it, I think, before, about erecting the temple.
like a tail or maybe a sword or something.
Like if the Sobek is already, the crocodile has a tail, so that's
Oh, I see.
you know, it's like some of the image of the gods already has tails. You know, that's what the pharaoh himself, even if it's happened, but anyway, it's like mostly for the gods, not for the pharaohs. Here you see the Sobek crocodile, because by the way is on the other side Horus. As we said, because anyway, like this is the shearing part. That's why both of them appear, on that side, because that anyway, it's so area for shearing between both of them. But I would love to show you the scenes here for Cleopatra, not sevens. So Ptolemy the Eighth, he married two Cleopatras, the second and the third. That's why. Yes. Do you know Ptolemy the Sixth? He married to Cleopatra number 2. Then Ptolemy the Eighth, he married to 2 and 3. He didn't feel enough for just 2, so he took 3 as well. That's why, by the way, here you start to see the same thing. Here, supposed to be, guys, the theme of Ptolemy the Eighth himself. But the scene is being destroyed. Okay, right in front of him is the high priest start to wearing the animal skin, burning the incense to start to preparing the pharaoh, and pushing the bad spirits away around his body. Because after that you will get the purification. Here you see this, the flags of Upper and Lower Egypt to start the celebration. Even is the pharaoh of Upper and Lower Egypt, all over Egypt, because as you know, that they have to improve that, because Egypt been divided so many times in history between upper and lower. That's why here the high priest, you see the animal skin, you see this, the flags of upper and lower Egypt. You see here the god Thoth and god Horus, start to make the purification of the body of the pharaoh, while he's here wearing the sandal. Later on, he's taking his sandal off. Why? He start to get into the temple. Temple, holy area, take your shoes off. You remember what the God blames Moses about it and said, Moses, you are in a holy area, take your shoes off. Do you know that they do the same thing in the temples in ancient time? Take your shoes off before you get into the temple. Holy area. Okay? That's why you see here, you could see he's wearing the sandal, but when he gets into the temple, he takes the sandal off. So you cannot get into the temple with the sandal. That's why this a little thing, but also you have to know it. Over there, guys, after they wash the pharaoh, they start with the two goddesses, as we've seen on the other side. They place the double crowns in front of the regent of the temple, the god Horus. Then here you see who the pharaoh, his Ptolemy the number 8. They start to, makes offering for Horus, the owner of this side, the left side here. Behind him, his two wives, Cleopatra second and Cleopatra third. Okay, that's why here Ptolemy 8, Cleopatra 2 and 3. You have to see it. It makes a difference between men details and woman details. Which one you are talking about?
Back there. I'll show you a picture.
Okay, you can show me the picture and then we'll explain it. Okay, so guys, if you would like, you can take your photos. Okay. And was.
What's a was?
Was
How do you spell
power.
that?
Was is the Japanese ink is the
An anchor?
was. Yeah.
An anchor?
But then you got jet. Jet is stability.
Oh, like the wash shape, it does look like that.
Okay, guys. Right now, I know this place will be always crowded. I can explain for you here on, Then later on, you can just get a photo, of it. Anyway, first of all, let me show you. This is the temple before the restoration. See it? Before the restoration, it's been damaged totally. We will, explain about the scene you see, given birth. Okay. And this is the scene that we did explain it already. This is the nilometer anyway, we're gonna see it later. This, I think, maybe we will go right now and see it. But let's see. This is why everybody is surrounded there, is the calendar. So, the calendar. And that's the reason why I teach you some of the numbers today in Edfu Temple, because you are not able to get a lot of scenes here because of it's been mostly a bit destroyed, and it's always busy and crowded. By the way, this is the calendar, but is it calendar like a calendar? No, it's actually, you have to know something, that is for the festivals and the offering happen of the temple. That's why, by the way, logically, we used to have two. One here belongs to Horus, which is not exist already, and the other one here for Sobek. That's why the one is still standing a bit. That's for Sobek, the crocodile, or the god of the crocodile, or the god of evil, the side, or the bad side. But here it's not exist anymore. What the calendar is, we start to already put the days, number the days. We said, you remember, ancient Egyptian divide the year into 3 months, so the 3 seasons. So agriculture season, flood season, and harvest season. Then we already divided the season into months. Every month is 3 weeks. Every week is 10 days. That's why the month is 30 days. We said there is a small month. We said it's already holiday. There is no work and job. That's why they already got like the numbers, and this round thing here, like this round, that's called Heru. Heru means day. So I number the day. That's day number 1, day number 2, day number 3. Okay? That's why we said like this circle, they said it's considered day. Okay? Then I want to say day 1, we said, is only 1 dash. Day 1, the beginning of the harvest season. Day number 1. Everybody can see that? Everybody? So, harvest season, day number 1. If we go down a little bit, day number 2. 2 dashes. Then here, day number 3. So 3 dashes. Here, day number 4. And so on. Okay? Then we said 10 is, that's why if I'm gonna see here, that's okay. Day number, here there is 2 10s and 3 dashes will be what? 23. So day number 23, day number 24, day number 25. Okay, I want to say 29, I put 9 dashes, no. You put a circle and you divide it. So it's right here, 29. 29, then 30. 30 it means the end of the month. The end of the month, use that symbol right here, guys. This symbol, so day or the last day, so which is already called Bih. Bih, it means done, finished. Okay, let's see. We use that word, especially we still use it until now in Egypt. Even today, we still use that word mostly for the kids. Kids asking about candies, we give them candies. They start about asking for more candies. We say, okay, no. So they says, no, we want more candies. We say, no, bah, or bah, which means bah, it means finish. We don't have any more, done. And you know, if you ask any one of the people, any one of the locals people, when they start to tell the kids bah, you said, okay, what is the meaning of bah? He said, okay, finish. You said, okay, from where you get that word? They said, no, we don't know. Even it's not an Arabic word. Okay, we said we don't know, but we grew up on it. Says bah, that means finish, done. Okay, bah, it's already an ancient word. It means the end of the month. Then you started the new month by the same thing, day number 1, day number 2, till day number 28. Then comes, you know, 30. They never put 30, but they put bah, which means done or finished. So guys, the calendar is right in front of you here. So if you want, like, go ahead. Name is Habi. Habi is the god of the Nile River. That's why he's a male, but in the same time female. That's why I got the same ideas, like both details. Because he's god of the Nile and the flood of the Nile. That's why, you know, it's like belly and, you know, because he gets a lot of, like, gives a lot of water. That's why he has the both details, male and female. Yeah, just mind you, step you can stand here.
Oh, are these for wooden bits for the
For
bin?
the wooden
for the fire,
pieces,
don't they?
yes. 3 rooms would be for the offering of Horus. 3, so Sobek for food. 3 rooms will be for Horus, and 1 room is sharing room as well. To share between the 2 gods as well, because the middle side is sharing. That's why even they make a sharing room to share offers between both of them, you know, because you want to share every single thing here, as we said, to keep the So guys, what's in here? Surgical tools. Okay, very similar to the surgical tools still in use even today. Okay, that's surgical tools. Okay, that's gifted from the Roman emperor, you know, Trajan, to the temple of Kom Ombo, to the priests here, under the authority and the control of who? Of Imhotep. Imhotep, one more time.
Another one. He lived a long time.
Maybe he's still around. Who knows? We still didn't find his tomb.
The mummy again.
Yeah, we still didn't find, you know, his tomb. That's why, you know, as was mentioned, some people believe, oh, he's a prophet Joseph. Some other believe, hold on, he's an aliens, you know, and you know. But anyway, he's appeared so many times in history because he's a sign of the ancient history. He is, you know, like a founder of a lot of things. Even this, why my own theory, like why I believe why they choose his name in a movie which called The Mummy. Because first time I watched it, I was complaining a lot, like why you made Imhotep as a bad guy. But then later I know, like, okay, that's a sign for the Egyptian history, you know. Then I said, like, I have to watch the movie again, then I like it. But anyway, by the way, guys, you know, the temple is everything. So they made the temple. So the temple, the priestess, as we mentioned, the only people, they are highly educated in ancient. That's why the priestess, they are the doctors. Priestess, they are the architects. Priests, they are the teachers. That's why, for sure, like here, used to get some days, they make surgeries for people. There is some stuff used for mummification. That's why, by the way, like we look at some of, but you know, they put the model tools, which is already very similar in use for, you know, the ones, the old ones. But like, that's kind of idea. Those cups to draw the blood, you know, from the body, you know. Caesar, okay. Use it to get the brain out through the nose. We said the person dead. He's not feeling. You don't feel anything, you know. Will be some little ones here that use for the dentist. Okay, that's why, you know, it's very similar. By the way, some people believe here there is Isis and goddess Isis and, you know, the god. But anyway, they believe like the idea of this is like giving birth. By the way, do you know long time ago they used to let the woman giving birth while she's fully sleeping? Then they find it's not a good idea. If she's gonna be sitting like this, she's gonna be easier for her to deliver the baby. Already they knows that back in ancient time. And by the way, we're gonna see the same image in the National Civilization Museum about how the mother of Queen Hatshepsut, she started to deliver Hatshepsut by being sitting, you know, not sleeping. That's why you imagine they figured out that not very long ago, but already they knows that back in ancient time. Okay, and they makes like a chair, has a space that for the nurse to put her hand to helping for delivering the baby. Also, you will see in the scenes the eye of Horus, because as we said, eye of Horus, symbol of protection and even healing. Okay, that's why. Mister, yeah, Mister, and I'm standing for. Yeah, well, when there see the real thing, you know, not explain here, but I wanted to be like. Yeah, if you can cross from here, you can go. If not, it's better, you know, walk people. That's why in front of that scene we will see that the Roman Emperor Trajan is kneeling down to offer that surgical tools right in front of the Imhotep. Because as we said, you remember in Saqqara we said Imhotep, after he died, ancient Egyptian worshipped him as a real god, because he's the founder of a lot of things. Even it's been worshipping till the Roman era. We said Romans already they have their own god and goddesses, but they have a god of medicine and recovery. His name is Asclepius. When they came here, they find Asclepius just a student for Imhotep. That's why I switch up using Imhotep to be god of medicine and recovery. That's why this the reason why he's already, you know, decided to offer this to the temple under the control of the, you know, god Imhotep, because he is the scene. He's like a god, not as just Imhotep himself, but the god Imhotep, because ancient Egyptians themselves worshipped him as a god after he died. That's why this the reason, guys, is keep appear so many times in a history, you know, not because he's alien. If you look, this is some of the recently excavations. Some of the recent excavations, because by the way, when to your you know, left hand side here, you see that some more of the excavation is still running, you know, around the, you know, the temple here. And during the excavations they discovered the cemetery where they used to, you know, bury the mummified bulls. Because let's see, in a temple we used to have statue of the god, this is the image of the god, but used to have life image of the god. What I mean life image, okay, here crocodile and falcon used to have a real life crocodile, like they choose strong one, very good looking, to be the life image of the god. Okay, then the priests already, you know, like the, you know, even that temple was famous in ancient time, that some people used to come to ask the god Sobek about them dreams and what gonna happen for them in the near future by coming, asking, tell the priests, okay, that's what I saw in my dream. Then the priests start to tell this to the live crocodile. According to the movement of the crocodile, the priest he understood and he start to give you the answer. Okay, that's why I used to have a live image. Could you imagine happen this real life crocodile pass away? They gonna throw it? No, that was the real life of the real life image of the god. That's why what they do, they mummified it and buried it. That's why every temple logically used to have a cemetery next to it to bury the symbol of the god or the mummified animal or bird, that image of that god. In some temples that cemetery being found. That's why anyway we have also a room in an Egyptian museum called the Mummified Animals Room. Contains crocodiles, falcons, cats, dogs, cobra, and ram, a lot of others. But here we've discovered, that's why we have the museum for the mummified crocodiles. That's why you have to know there is two things: a statue and real life image of the god. Okay, where already like at the beginning you will see where they used to put that real life crocodile, like a little swimming pool at the beginning, where they used to place like the real life crocodile. We will see it in the way out. I will mark it for you. That's why every temple used to have a real life image of the god plus the statue. Okay, so guys, as we mentioned, here is the Roman emperor, John is kneeling down, to offer those kind of surgical tools. And here even it gets the day, like in I think who works in the hospitals, he knows that more. Like they mix this today is gonna be dentist, tomorrow it's gonna be like women, surgeries or whatever. So this also we divided the days. You see the numbers, to put it in order. Right now, it's like when they're gonna be the time for the dentist, when they're gonna be the time, for the other kind of doctors. That's why here is Imhotep himself, as the legend sitting on the throne as a pharaoh, as the gods, that's why, as you said, here is like a god. Okay, you see here, the eye of Horus, the scale to start to measure, the medicine, and the herbs that they have, to take, and you see, as you said, the cups and the pieces that take it, to take the brain out, and the rest, and the delivered babies. Right, if you look, guys, here, if you like, so take it photos and come. So for sure, here you see the two gods. So Horus, Sobek, it's been destroyed, but Sobek here, Horus here. This is your side, this is your side. You see at the top here, sun disk was the wings of Ra or Akhti, so the god Ra at the top. Here, the woman with two wings and the feather over the head, goddess Ma'at, M-A-A-T, goddess of truth and justice. For sure, as we mentioned, when the pharaoh decided to build a temple to the Sobek, that would be, against the nature. How come you're gonna have just a whole temple for bad god or evil god or dangerous? That's why she gave the order to share the temple into two temples, between Horus and Sobek, the crocodile. While you see over here, what? You see, guys, the eyes, you see the ears? It means what? Okay, she gave the order, but I'm still watching you, and even I'm hearing you, so that to make sure the temple always will be sharing between the two gods, always the you know, the praying and the ceremonies, sharing between the two gods, respect each other's. That's why, you know, that's a very unique thing. While you find that, because some people they said this is the eyes of the temple and the ears of the temple. No, the eyes and the ears of the goddess is watching and hearing you, you know, and I'm watching you, I'm hearing you, to keep the balance, because Isis, she's the balance of the life, she's the truth and the justice. That's why even, you know, when the Pharaoh gets to the afterlife, he starts to say, I'm spend my life with the rules of might. That's why I spend my life with truth and justice. That's why in proof he's a good person. That's why for sure he does the final job. See? That's the temple. This is the symbol of the temple itself. This is the symbol of the temple, you know, and then this be the image of Goddess Might as long as the feather over the head. Okay? And here the offering, even look at the offering, they share the offers. Okay? Here the enemies was already, as you said, sometimes they offer the enemies, as we see in that scenes comes in the temple, so you see the offering. So the enemies are not Egyptians, or for sure, but they offer so and they share even like, you know, and there used to be the four directions. This were already used to place the live crocodiles, guys. Like the right seems like, you know, Sudan is placed back there. You see little steps, you know, where they used to place the live crocodile. Now let's move to see the mummified crocodile museum to look at see real mummified crocodiles, different sizes, guys. It started by baby ones. You know, baby crocodiles, yes. Sometimes the life image of the goddess, female has a baby, dead, pass away. He mummified the mom, mummified the baby one as well. It's cannot gonna survive without the mom. That's why baby crocodiles, medium size, big sizes, okay, you know. Here is in the Egyptian museum in animal mummy's room. There is like some crocodiles is huge. So Nile crocodile is considered like the biggest, or you know, second biggest after the Australian ones, you know. But it's like fresh water, you know. It's some of it is like really massive, huge, 7 meters. That's why even when you look at the crocodiles here and see the mummies, some of them people said it's not that huge. You have to know something. After mummification, body shrinks. That's why you have to keep that in mind. Those even after happen. You see, as we said to your right hand side here, this is the new excavation of the temple. Why you find some new stuff back here?
I can see crocodiles in this part of the river.
We still have crocodiles, but behind the high dam in Aswan. Because the high dam seems, guys, like a big, huge rock. It sticks the crocodiles, they cannot fit through it. Even if one or two that fell through, the people catch them and they threw them back. That's why mostly the mountain lake is behind the crocodiles. But we still have crocodiles, but no here, then you exit from there, so please you can go inside. Just go ahead directly.
Oh, wow.
No flash inside. Picture without flash. Picture without flash, photo without flash, no flash inside.
Habiros. Habiros. 1,000. 1,000.
Just looking at me. We were on the far outside.
That's 1 euro. That's 1 euro. That's 1 euro. Let's do for $5. Let's amigo for $5. Vale? Let's do for $5.
I don't know where I'm going, but he does.
Next one. Thank you. Thank you. I know. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Could well be. Hi there. Thank you. Thank you very much. That was cool. Thank you very much.